Pleasant good evening to all viewers and listeners wherever you are located in the world. Once again, as we begin 2022, it's our esteemed pleasure to present the first episode for 2022. 1 week ago, we did our last presentation on the 31st of December 2021. And it's indeed our pleasure to be here to start the ball rolling and to generate, high energy, positive vibrations, your well-being, your success, notwithstanding the tumultuous times we are living in. So I want to throw out those kind of currents out there, and I want you definitely to tap into them and to navigate the ravaging waters that we have all been placed in. But we are alive, there is hope, there is possibility, and there must be positivity. So welcome to our full session, and it is indeed our pleasure to continue our work. So we use the usual format of starting off with a motivational word. We tell you about our services, we do the presentation, and then we give you a reminder of our services. So the motivational word for today is a motivational word that you will have heard in different forms in the past, but I'll repeat it. And it simply states, grow or wither and die. Without growth, there will be stagnation, there will be retrogression, and there will be eventual death. So there is enough death given the pandemic we are living through, but life must be continue to live, and in so doing we must be thinking of different ways in which we can grow and develop ourselves. So growth is a constant process. When we look at the human development cycle, between birth and death, there must be continuous growth. Of course, sometimes setbacks in life also propel your growth. So if there are setbacks along the way, also look at them as a learning opportunity to propel your growth. So I remind you, think about growth. And since we are thinking about growth, and last presentation we talk about your various journals and the general solutions, please draw on it so that your growth is assured and ensured as you move forward. So that's our word. As usual, meditate, reflect, consider it, and develop your growth plans for 2022. I wish you all success and encourage you to vigorously pursue those goals. So our services, as usual, I, Imo Bakari, your life coach and psychologist, I am available at any time to serve you at any location in the world, to encourage you, to assist you, to guide you, to motivate you to become the best version of yourself. So as you develop your growth plans, as you face challenges, certainly I'm available to provide psychosocial support and to be your coach to help you, become better as you navigate those challenges, whether it's career, whether it's otherwise. I am available to serve you. Make a call at 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779-2544, or email us at leadershipwithadifference@gmail.com. I would also like to inform you that we do a number of one-on-one sessions. We do workshops also in areas such as leadership, public speaking, entrepreneurship, community development, cooperative development, marketing, the role of psychology in business, emotional intelligence and new anger management, among a host of other topics. And again, we can do it one-on-one, we can do it in small groups, we can do it in larger groups. Whatever the formation, just give us a call, 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779-2544, or shoot us an email at leadershipwithadifference@gmail.com. So the topic today is also aligned with the motivational word, and the topic, our first topic for 2022, is entitled Grow Your Talents. I repeat, grow your talents. Now oftentimes in life, many human beings feel deficient. And that certainly is a terrible misnomer that I want to encourage you to debunk at the earliest opportunity. We certainly are not deficient. Of course, we have various talents. And the key challenge, the key mission is for you to identify your talents. Alright? There is no need, brethren and sisters, all those who are listening, there is no need to envy another human being for their God-given talents. Because you as children of God, you are also blessed with numerous talents. But the big failure among many is the inability to identify what are their talents. Once you can make that starting point, I'm saying to you, there is no need to envy, because given the range of talents that God has placed in you, you are already a celebrity. All you have to do to maintain that celebrity status is to continue growing yourself, growing your talents, becoming a better version of you. So, someone else's talents, those talents are theirs, your talents belong to you, and the starting point is to identify them. So whether it's baking, whether it's cooking, whether it's barbering, whether it's engineering, whether it's medicine, right? Whether it's community work, start off by identifying them, and having identified them, certainly I think the passion will be great to help you drive forward to do all that is possible. So once you have identified those talents, of course, you will need to refine the talents, all right? And to refine your talents, of course, you may have to pursue additional training. You certainly have to do continuous reading. You got to do things differently. You got to speak with others who have traveled that path. You got to have a coach, and as I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, I am certainly available to be that coach, all right? You also need to have mentors, all right? And people that guide you, to help you in that refinement process, to help you in modifying those talents. And when you engage in those processes in terms of refining and modification, certainly there will be an amplification of your talents. So for yourself to benefit, for others to benefit, for the globe to benefit, you need to do all of these things to help you in that process. For example, all of us, whether we are athletes or not, we need to exercise, the muscles in our bodies. We need to exercise the body, because the body is designed for movement. As you know, sitting for too long or living a sedentary lifestyle is a very dangerous practice. So we need to exercise to promote that ongoing growth of muscles and to maintain the strength of our muscles. For example, if someone suffers a broken leg and they are inactive for a number of months, the leg tends to become very flabby because of the lack of use of the muscles. So in order to fuel the growth and maintain the strength and rigidity of our muscles, we need to exercise, all right? So that is one area of growth certainly you must never compromise on, because it's so important for overall health, mentally and physically. You also need to promote your mental health. Of course, I did a couple presentations on this. So self-awareness will be important, identifying challenges, seeking help. But on a more calmer note, you need to read. You need to read, because reading certainly is a main exercise for the brain, all right? As renowned neurosurgeon once said, Dr. Ben Carson, that the mind once touched by an idea is never the same again, So just as physical exercise is the medicine for the body in terms of muscle development, in terms of proper blood circulation, etc., we need to read constantly so we can grow additional neurons, we can fuel additional connectivity within our neuronal network, and increase our capacity to remember, to think, to speak, and to develop that mental strength. Because I always say, and many have said it before, a leader must be a reader. And we are all leaders in different ways, all right? And, we need to read, we need to analyze, we need to think, and we need to constantly grow our knowledge so that we could make, relevant contributions and, maintain our status as leaders. So, from the fundamental premise of mental development in terms of, having a stronger mind, reading is a prerequisite every time. So please include reading in your schedule in terms of fueling the development of your mental capacity. We are also spiritual beings, as we all know, or should agree to, and if you differ, you are very much entitled to that deviation from that belief system. But nonetheless, we can fuel our spiritual development through prayer, of course, through meditation, through fasting, through reflection, some may say through Bible studies. Whatever is your angle of approach, whatever is your belief system from a religious, spiritual point of view, we need to, seek to become a cleaner version of ourselves, so to speak. We need to have that sense of purity and that sense of, love, and that sense of good-heartedness to become better, to do better, to help humanity. And I'm saying your spiritual growth is an important aspect in that respect. So we can also include in the mix some fasting, being able to appreciate the different dimensions of fasting, the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane, help us to really have that greater connectivity with self and certainly with others. So in terms of your spiritual growth, you could consider fasting, meditation, reflection, prayers, etc. So there's a host of other ways in which you can grow yourself, and it is your responsibility to identify those areas and to ensure that every day, because every day we are different physically and mentally without trying, but we could certainly accentuate that process or those processes by doing some of the things that I suggested and doing any other thing that is positive that will fuel our overall growth and development. So when we really think about it, we are part of a collective, all right? The ancient Egyptians spoke about the collective genius. And if we are part of the collective genius, to ensure that our contribution is at a high standard, we need to fuel ourselves to grow in every possible way, right? So that we could make that kind of contribution. We also have a responsibility to develop others, all right? For example, Erikson, the psychosocial psychologist, in his psychosocial theory, in the seventh stage of that theory, he speaks about generativity versus stagnation. And the age group of persons we're talking about is in the mid-age category, probably 45 to about 55 age group. So persons in that age group certainly, middle-aged, and certainly should have had a level of development and growth where they should see it as a prime responsibility to help in nurturing and shaping the next generation. But you will be unable to develop and shape the next generation if you are in a stagnated state. If you didn't make the effort, if you didn't do the work, right? If you didn't do the research, you didn't put in the effort, you didn't strive to become better every day. When you reach such an age, you may be filled with regrets. You may be, and if you are filled with regrets, it's a very sad place to be in life when you have to regret. Because life is a blessing, life is a gift that we need to develop and make the best out of it. So I'm saying, fuel your growth, so if God bless you when you reach that kind of age, you will know that a prime responsibility of yours is to help in developing the next generation. And you can only do it by growing your talents in every possible way to be able to play that role. Because if there is no generativity in terms of that approach, there will be only stagnation. As I said at the beginning, I used the motivational word. When there is no growth, there will be retrogression, stagnation, and eventual death. So we need to, deviate and move away from that pathway. As the old African proverb says, do not go along the beaten pathway, go where there is no trail. So if you are enthused, if you are passionate about your growth and development, you need to seek avenues that no one else tread, so that you can create the kind of growth that will give you the impetus to become the best version of yourself. So seize every opportunity that presents itself. And sometimes opportunities come unannounced. Sometimes opportunities come in disguise. But we need to be sensitive and attuned because of our growth and development to know that those things are opportunities and to make the best of them so that we can help in that process of really shaping and molding the next generation. Because many seniors who are in the organization, sadly, sad to say, many of them have the attitude of cultivating a sense of power and entitlement and not paying any attention to failing to recognize that the continuity and growth of the organization is dependent on their shaping and nurturing others. So if you are in a position of authority, it's not for life, and you should see it as your responsibility with the growth and development that you have attained to help in shaping others so that organizations could remain strong, society could remain strong, and the world could be a better place. So I just implore you and encourage you to seize every opportunity to fuel your growth and development. All right? We are part of a collective, as I have emphasized, and being part of the collective, it places a great responsibility for us to play that role. I'm emphasizing it because too many people are consumed with themselves and their image and power, as I mentioned a while ago, and it is very destructive where growth and development is concerned. Another important factor that will fuel not only your growth but the growth of others is paying attention to the concerns and the thoughts and ideas of your people. When we do that, we will not be planning or designing a future for them based on our interpretation of what the future should look like. But we'll be designing a future based on a blueprint that we're shaping based on their concerns, based on their needs and aspirations. All right? So I am suggesting that in every institution in the society, we should develop a program and a policy where we have scout talents. Scout talents should not only be to identify promising sporting personnel. Certainly we need scout talents for that, and it must continue. Because when you have people with the knowledge and experience who can identify potential, they can bring them in the right environment, give them the necessary support, and ensure that that talent grows to the very best of their ability. So when we think of education, right, we have many students struggling because the curriculum certainly does not meet their peculiar needs. All right. Now, if we have talents, scout talent teams in the schools who can identify people who has an aptitude, let us say, for mathematics, for drawing, for drama, for sport, right? We provide them with the basic foundation, reading, writing, and numeracy, and we focus all of our other attention in shaping that talent that they are passionate about. You will never have bored students, all right? So I'm saying we must have, every institution, there must be the establishment of talent teams, whether it's sport, whether it's in academics, whether it's in the workplace, whatever, whether it's in the legal fraternity, whatever you could think about. And we also must have those teams, as I said, in schools, in the community, wherever. And in that way, we will have a mass of talent that we can profile, that we can train, and we can ensure that we have a great society wherever we may be located in the world. So the establishment of talent teams, I think, is a very important recommendation that I'm emphasizing upon, And I want all individuals who are listening and watching to this presentation to bear in mind and to have the courage and the strength to put it in place, all right? Thereby fueling the growth and development of individuals in mass, having properly identified what their talents are, and giving them and giving others a very good opportunity to benefit from the full development of that talent. So growing your talent, I think, is a most appropriate topic to start off the presentations for 2022. All right? When we grow our talent, we will help to dissipate mediocrity. Mediocrity is a very painful reality in Caribbean societies and other parts of the world. All right? And if we to avoid mediocrity, we must bury mediocrity. And in burying mediocrity and in giving that talent the opportunity to grow and develop, certainly we'll be doing our societies a huge favor, and we'll be blessed for the kind of development that can emanate from that going forward. So I leave you this evening with those words. I leave you to consider the recommendations I have made, and I encourage you to get on the journey of really knowing who you are in terms of your strengths, knowing what is expected of you, and putting that developmental program in place to ensure that you are a beneficiary, others benefit, and the world becomes a better place. So I thank you once again for listening. I know the message resonated with you, and the message having resonated with you, I would like you to ensure that you subscribe to the channel. And as you subscribe and as you have been impressed by what has been said, ensure that you encourage your friends and families to subscribe to the channel. Feel free, and when you subscribe, if you are subscribing for the first time, ensure that you put on the bell notification, ensure that you like the video, share the video, and please leave a comment. We also remind you that and encourage you to support the work of the channel. We encourage you to support the research projects that we have started. I've already started doing work on the two research projects. One, the psychological impact on the labor of petroleum workers, and the economic impact. Work has already started on them. And we will continue to be producing videos on a weekly basis. And if you certainly would like to see this channel become one of the best on the planet, we encourage you, to the best of your ability, to feel free and make any kind of financial contribution that you are capable of doing via the YPay link that will be on the description page of this video. So we thank you for listening, we thank you for viewing. We are excited to up the ante as we continue our work on this channel for 2022, and we look forward to your support on the channel and through programs that you may request. So if you are requesting a consultation, if you are requesting a workshop, if you are requesting a coaching session, all you have to do is call us at 1-868-778-5141, 1-868-779